Hey guys, Lisa Salvatore here. I am doing a mid-July check-in. I hope all of you are doing well and taking good care of yourselves. June was definitely a month, a little bit of a wild ride up and down, side to side. It still kind of feels like that a little bit, but things are definitely calming down after the eclipse season, even though we are still feeling it. A lot of you had written into me asking about the July monthly readings. I did not do any July readings, so you did not miss anything. I just wasn't feeling it, to be honest, so that's the honest truth. I don't do things when I'm not feeling it, and I completely wasn't feeling the July monthlies, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully this check-in, mid-month check-in will help. We are in the middle of a lot of energetic shifting taking place. First of all, today is July 11th that I'm recording this video. And today, Chiron actually will station retrograde. Chiron, I've done a video on Chiron separately a couple of months back. I'm not offering the discount that you'll hear mentioned in that video because that was back in, I believe it was April or May that I did that. But you still may want to listen to that to get more information on Chiron because I will go into more depth in that video if you're interested. But Chiron's a planet, technically a asteroid, that you may not hear too much about because although lately we're hearing more and more about Chiron, I've been studying Chiron for years. I find Chiron to be extremely significant in our birth charts because Chiron is actually the key to unlock our soul's deepest wounds that then become our greatest strengths by going into those wounds. So when Chiron stations retrograde, what happens is when planets station retrograde, the energy turns inward, right? So when Chiron is direct, that is when we seek medicine, literally and metaphorically. We seek medicine in the outside world. So that's when we go to the chiropractors, the naturopaths, the therapists, the spiritual advisors, the shamans, anybody that can give us the piece of healing that we're seeking for ourselves, right? That's when Chiron's direct, we typically do that. When Chiron stations retrograde, what happens is we go inward for the healing. It's more of a time of deep, deep reflection. And a lot of times those wounds can really come up, right? Because they're meant to, so that we can clear and heal them for ourselves, because the medicine is actually in the wound, if that makes sense. And so that's what Chiron retrograde will be about. And this Chiron retrograde will be until I think it's December, I think it's the 7th. So it's from today, July 11th through December 7th, okay? So that's the first thing that's taking place. However, tomorrow, July 12th, Mercury will station direct, finally. So in June, we had both Venus and Mercury retrograde, which is why June felt really like a pressure cooker, and there was just a lot going on, and it was highly emotional. Venus and Mercury are close to the sun. They're inner planets. They're felt a lot more strongly when they are retrograde, and they do cause more of the disturbances and the high emotions that you hear about with retrograde planets. Now, right now, tomorrow on the 12th, Mercury will station direct. So Mercury is currently stopped, about to flip around, about to change motion. And when that happens, physically we feel things. So I do know that a lot of people are experiencing a lot with the head, like headaches, fogginess, spacey feeling, heaviness, like a heavy-headedness. Obviously, if you've got other stuff going on, that would be why. But if you're relatively healthy, just know that when the planets shift, as I always talk about, the planets are bodies of energy and we're bodies of energy. So we do feel it. And then again, dependent on your own personal birth chart and what the planets do in your chart and other planets that they aspect, you're going to feel certain things more than someone else feels them, okay? So you could be feeling a lot of in the head up here. Also, neck pain is another one, joint pain as well. Seems to be very common right now. We still do have 5 planets retrograde, even though Mercury is stationing direct, even though Venus stationed direct already. We still have Jupiter retrograde, Saturn retrograde, Pluto retrograde, Neptune retrograde, and now Chiron has joined the pack. So that's still 5 planets retrograde. Although it is those 5, although they are still felt, they're slower, so the effects are more subtle, but they're longer lasting. So you could find yourself this second half of the year, this will be the time when things will really begin to actually take form for you and shift, but not without the hard work, right? As long as you're working towards something and you're getting real about what it is that needs to be shifted and changed and where you've been maybe not putting in the effort or maybe putting in too much effort, all of those things now throughout the rest of the month, because we are still in Cancer season, and whenever we're in Cancer season, that's water, it's heavy water. Cancer is ruled by the moon, it's highly emotional. Cancer also rules the 4th house, which is our family life, our foundations, our childhood. So I do know that particularly right now, a lot of people are experiencing the inner child situations that are coming up. The places, which Chiron also dives into, the places where we've maybe been wounded, either literally wounded, emotionally wounded, physically wounded. These are the things that could be coming up for you right now during Cancer season, because Cancer season tends to bring up the emotion. It brings up the hidden, familial, the mother, anything maternal. Mother energy doesn't necessarily have to be like your physical mother, although it can be, but it could also be like who and how you mother others. It sounds funny. Who and how you mother others, how you nurture others, how you nurture yourself, how you allow others to nurture you. So this is all, coming up right now, and it could feel very intense, but it could also feel very cathartic. And with Chiron stationing retrograde today, there could be this push, this surge of just like needing to figure it out, or wanting to figure it out. And you will figure it out, just not without some work, right? Now, we also have a new moon in Cancer on July the 20th. This is the second new moon in Cancer, okay, that we've had, which is not something that happens very often, right? We had 3 eclipses in a row, June 5th, June 21st, and then July 5th. The last one was a full moon in Capricorn. And now we're building up to a new moon in Cancer again, another new moon in Cancer on July the 20th. And what's been happening since this last eclipse on July 5th, from the full moon to the new moon, this is when everything grows. This is when things come up. This is when we get a surge of energy and power. So this is actually a really good, abundant time. Even if there's some negativity or challenges that are peppered in there, there's still going to be this time of potency to manifest what it is that you need and want for yourself, for others, for your life. So use this time wisely. You may even feel, yes, you could be feeling very, very sensitive, very, very weepy, because it is Cancer season, very protective of yourself, of others, of what you have, what you own, and wanting to do things right, and maybe wanting to get to the bottom of situations and heal some wounds that could be with your literal family. Like maybe you haven't talked to a sibling in years. Maybe you need or want to write that letter to an adopted parent, or a parent that gave you up for adoption, or had whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm getting at. This is the time you'll be feeling all of that, and that's okay. Don't push it away. Kick it around and see where it takes you, because you might end up in a much better spot than you ever anticipated. So this is the first uneclipsed new moon that we've had in a little bit, so that's really good. The thing is, Cancer is ruled by the moon, right? It's very, very sensitive and moody, right? For better or worse. And this new moon is actually going to be opposing Saturn. And anytime Saturn's in the mix, there's just this level of responsibility that comes along with that. And Saturn rules over Capricorn, which is the opposite sign of Cancer. So now when we have a new moon, that is when the sun and the moon are in the same sign. So they're working together. There's a lot of positivity there and just really good feelings about that. But because Capricorn is the opposite sign of Cancer, and Saturn is the planet that is very closely linked to this new moon, there's also a feeling of a full moon that could be taking place with this. So that's also positive, because it's allowing like an extra dose of magic in the realm of manifestation, but also in release. And we're still coming off of this really intense eclipse energy. So this is the time, this new moon coming up on July 20th, this is a really positive one to, as long as you're doing the work, right, the work, and doing things the right way. That's really important with Saturn, okay, and Cancer season. You want to be honest. You want to be coming from the heart. You want to be authentic. You want to be, really making sure that you're owning up to where you've gone wrong, as well as where others have gone wrong. Tonight, also, Mars is very close to the moon, so if you've been feeling edgier than normal, or like afraid you're going to fly off the handle, this is why. So it is Saturday, so be careful if you are going out. If you're going to be around someone or someones that you might have an issue with, you may want to watch it, be careful. so that you can constructively resolve a conflict, as opposed to doing the Cancer, either going where you're completely closed off or lashing out, okay? So you want to really pay attention to that, because it's really exacerbated right now. All right, so that's that new moon on July the 20th. And then on July 22nd, 21st, depending on your time zone, the sun will move into Leo. Thank goodness, we are so overdue for fire energy. We've been under a lot of earth and a lot of water. And earth water is great, right? In the right amounts. But we've been lacking fire for quite some time. And, fire is what gets us moving. Fire is what gets us going. And fire, in the sense of astrology right now, is actually pretty positive, because it is going to give us energy. And we need that. We need some vitality. We need some energy. And Leo season is typically all about go, 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 pushing forward, pushing ahead, heat, action. It's no coincidence that Leo season typically is vacation time all over the world, right? July and August, that's when everybody vacations, because that is the overall theme of when the sun moves into Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. So this is like, that's royalty. That's the time where we get out, we want to have fun, we want to play, we want to be joyful. Leo also rules the heart. So again, we're coming out of Cancer season, which is the home, and it's, it's loving and it's nurturing and it's sensitive and emotional, and sometimes hypersensitive and hyper emotional. And then we go into Leo, which is like warm and loving. So it's a really nice shift in the energy. We need it. We definitely need it. I do feel like the rest of July is going to be mostly calmer than what we've experienced the past 6 to 8 weeks, okay? You could still be feeling highly emotional. Obviously, everybody's dealing with different things, so, that, of course, we have to take into account. But do know that, the most important thing is Chiron is retrograde now, so don't be afraid to go inward and allow your wounds to be the medicine for your healing. Again, I did link my other video below about Chiron, so you can see more about that. When I do my consultations, my astrology consultations, I always include Chiron. Always, because I absolutely love working with Chiron, and it's extremely important to soul growth. So if that's something that you're interested in, just know that I do work with that more deeply when I work with you on your chart. Also, Mercury, like I said, is going to station direct tomorrow, thankfully. So it is going to still feel a little like we're in Mercury retrograde, because we are in Cancer season. And Cancer season kind of always feels like that no matter what. Even though I love it, it does feel like that. So anyway, take really good care of yourselves. I hope that this has helped you. I hope that this made sense. My links are below. I am opened back up for private consultations. You can find my calendar there. And I will talk to you all real soon. Take really good care of yourselves. Bye.